Pay with face.
Facial recognition payment is so convenient in China. Scan your face, click to confirm it's you, and grab your purchase.
You walk into a shop for a bottle of water. You don't tap a card, you don't open an app. You look at a small screen and the payment is done. No wallet, no phone, just you. That sounds like science fiction, but it isn't. Payment networks and retailers have already tested pay by face and pay by palm, and the industry is openly talking about making checkout even more seamless in 2026. And here's the real hook. Once your face becomes a way to pay, it can also become a way to be recognized, quietly, one scan at a time. So what's actually happening at that checkout screen? Is it taking a photo of you? Is it storing your face in a database? And if your face is the new credit card, what happens when it gets stolen? Let's define one word fast. Biometrics. It means using a body feature like your face, your fingerprint, or your palm to confirm who you are. In many privacy laws, biometrics are treated as sensitive data because they can uniquely identify you. In the European Union, biometric data used to identify a person is treated as a special category with extra rules. Other regulators around the world describe the same idea in plain language. It needs stronger protection. That matters because a password can be changed, a card can be replaced, but your face is your face. MasterCard launched a biometric checkout program and began pilots in different regions. In Brazil, one pilot upgraded checkout points so shoppers could enroll and then pay by face. In Europe, MasterCard announced a pilot in Poland that let customers pay with a glance using iris and facial biometrics. Amazon pushed a different path, pay with your palm. Amazon One lets enrolled customers hover a palm over a reader to pay, and Whole Foods said Amazon One became available across its stores. Payments are moving from something you have to something you are. Now let's open the machine and look inside. When you see a camera, your brain thinks photo, but many biometric systems store a template, a mathematical pattern made from your face or palm. Apple describes Face ID this way. It stores mathematical representations of your face that stay on the device. That's the basic idea. Biometrics often become math, not a selfie. Payments have another secret too: tokenization. Tokenization is when your real card number is replaced with a different value called a token, so the card number isn't shared in the transaction. So in a best-case design, two things happen at once. Your body helps prove it's you, and a token helps protect your card details. You think the story ends there. It doesn't. There are two very different worlds of biometrics. World 1, on-device biometrics. Your phone checks your face or fingerprint locally. Some systems are built so biometric data never leaves the device, and the device unlocks a cryptographic key to approve an action. Passkeys are built around that idea. World 2, network biometrics. To pay at a store camera, the store system has to recognize you. That usually means you enroll into a program and a template is stored somewhere the checkout can reach, often in the provider's system, not in your pocket. Both worlds can be designed well, but they feel the same at checkout. You look, you pay, you leave. And that's the danger. Convenience can hide the difference. Payment companies are pushing a bigger shift: less manual entry, more automation, more tokens, and yes, more biometrics. So the rollout isn't one big red button on January 1st. It's a steady spread. Pilots become products, products become defaults, and defaults become normal. Now add one more layer: cities. A smart city uses digital systems and data to run services: traffic, transport, safety, energy, and more. Big institutions that study city data warn that smart city systems can create serious privacy and security risks because the data can reveal sensitive information about people's lives. This is where the story gets sharp, because if a city is already tracking movement and stores are tracking purchases and both start using biometrics, the lines can blur. Your face becomes a universal yes, but here's the question: what happens when the system says no? Biometric systems can fail for normal reasons: lighting, camera angle, changes to your face, or a simple glitch. The bigger issue is what happens at scale. If a face system gets things wrong more often for some groups, that becomes a fairness problem, not just a tech problem. A major standards and testing organization in the United States has run large face recognition tests and published reports showing error rates can differ across demographics depending on the algorithm and the scenario. The lesson is simple. Performance varies, and those differences must be measured and managed. At a store checkout, a failure might be a small annoyance. In a smart city moment like access to services, it can become a barrier. And that leads to the next twist: attacks. You might think if it's my face, nobody can copy it. But attackers don't need your real face. They need the system to believe they have it. That's why standards bodies talk about presentation attacks. That means someone tries to trick a biometric system by showing it something fake, like a photo, a video, or a mask. Security researchers and standards groups have also studied how to detect these tricks. You'll often hear a simple phrase for it: liveness detection. The goal is to check that a real, live person is there, not just an image. So a good biometric payment system needs more than a camera. It needs defenses. Now here's something most people miss. Biometrics are not secrets. A password is a secret. You can keep it hidden. Your face is not a secret. You show it all day. Security guidance from major institutions have warned that biometrics do not behave like passwords. That's why systems need extra protection when using biometrics to prove identity. And if biometric data leaks, you can't reset your face the way you reset a password. That's why biometric protection standards talk about goals like keeping biometric data secure, preventing tampering, and reducing harm if data is compromised. One big idea is unlinkability. That means your biometric data should not easily connect you across different systems. That word, unlinkability, is where privacy death starts to feel real. Let's be careful with the phrase privacy death. Privacy doesn't vanish overnight. It erodes when small choices become forced and when separate systems quietly connect. Some scholars and critics argue that modern business models can turn human behavior into data for profit and influence. You don't have to agree with every detail to see the warning. Data collection expands when it pays to collect it. Biometric payments add a body-based identifier to the mix. In the European Union, biometric data used for unique identification is treated as a special category of personal data. Human rights and privacy organizations have also published guidelines about facial recognition because of its potential impact. And different countries are now writing rules about when remote biometric identification can be used in public spaces, especially by law enforcement. That shows a big point. There's a difference between choosing to use my face to pay and my face being scanned everywhere I go. One is a service, the other is a society. So why do people say yes? Because it's easy. Companies sell biometrics as speed. Fewer steps, fewer cards, fewer passwords. Some systems even link payment with membership benefits, so your identity becomes a shortcut for perks. And when biometrics are paired with strong payment security, risks can be reduced. Tokenization can help protect card numbers by replacing them with tokens, and industry security groups explain how token systems can reduce exposure when designed properly. So this isn't a simple good versus evil story, it's a trade. The question is, are you getting a fair deal? Next time you see pay with your face or pay with your palm, here are 4 simple questions you can ask. 1. Is it optional? Can I still pay another way without being punished? 2. Where is my biometric data stored? On my device or in a network database? And who runs that database? 3. Can I delete it? And does deletion mean the template is gone, not just inactive? 4. Is it used only for payment or also for loyalty, advertising, security, or personalized offers? Standards bodies and regulators keep returning to the same ideas: collect less data, secure it, limit how it's used, and be honest about what's happening. Because once systems link together, they rarely unlink on their own. So let's close the big questions. No, the best systems aren't storing a selfie. They store a biometric template, math that can be matched. And the best payment systems don't pass your real card number around. They use tokenization to reduce risk. But the real story isn't the math, it's what math connects to. A face used only to unlock your own device is one thing. A face used to unlock a growing web of payments, doors, and services is another. In 2026, the push for frictionless life is getting stronger, and friction feels bad until you realize friction is sometimes the last bit of privacy you have. The good news is that this future is not locked in. Standards and privacy laws are trying to set guardrails, but guardrails only work when people demand them. So, when a screen asks for your face, pause for 1 second and ask, "What am I buying with this smile?"